We have a past district director who will be the chief judge, and a very stiff competition by people who have really practiced their speeches. And even table topics is going to be a treat for you, because it's not just impromptu speaking. A lot of training is going on behind it. Ask me or Vandana, you will know about it. So I urge you all to join in for the division contest. And tomorrow, which is Saturday, we have a speechcraft session. By now, you all must be knowing that Speech Weavers is conducting Speechcraft program. So what is Speechcraft program? Speechcraft program is a membership building exercise in Toastmasters. And also it is a crash course in public speaking. For somebody who doesn't know exactly what Toastmasters is about, they kind of get a glimpse of Toastmasters and they eventually turn into members. So that's something we are conducting under our club banner. So Ashwin and I are coordinating with the support again of a brilliant team in our club as well as the district. And you all must be happy to know this, that we got a lot of district support for this, and Radio City ran a campaign for the Speechcraft. And so we will be sharing a little bit of snippets again on Radio City come in 2 weeks. And another exciting news about the same Speechcraft session is coming next Saturday, that is 16th and 17th, if I'm right. That is when you all have to come to our Speechcraft, if you like it or not, because it's going to be one amazing session. We have two of the most brilliant speakers I have seen so far. One is Fuzzy Gotuwako, you all don't need any introduction. And the second one is DTM Rajdeep Manwani. So listening to them, they usually run packed rooms, packed houses whenever they run education sessions. So please don't miss out on those sessions and save your date and time. And the third announcement I have to make is the Toastmaster of the month for March has been announced. And it is Shubhadeep Mukherjee. So congratulations to Shubhadeep Mukherjee. I think he's not here, but nevertheless, I made the announcement. So how do you become a Toastmaster of the month? Mayur has put out a set of guidelines as to how it is a scoring system. If you take the role of a Zoom master, you get 50 points. If you take the role of an evaluator, again 50 points. If you take general evaluator, 70 points. TMOD, 100 points. If you contribute to a newsletter, 100 points. Attend Speechcraft session and participate as a role taker, you get more points. If you win in that particular meeting for best in role, you get more points. So whoever gets the largest set of points is the winner. So it's not an easy thing. So I really want you all to compete, and it's not just about competing. You will get a lot of exposure. Giving external speeches also carries its own points. So make sure to explore all these avenues. We have designed the system such that you all get good exposure to public speaking, communication, and leadership. So that brings me to the end of all my long list of announcements. It's now time for me to introduce the joke master for today, who's going to entertain us with a lot of rib-tickling humor. Please welcome on your virtual screen the young, the energetic software engineer based in Hyderabad, now presently working from his home in Kerala. Please welcome on your screen with a big round of applause, Akash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I plan to ask you some poor joke questions. For that, yesterday I started looking at some YouTube videos. I jotted some of the poor joke questions, which made me smile when I saw that video. After almost 2 hours of time spent on these videos, I thought this is enough. I closed my notebook and kept it on my table and just went for a good night's sleep yesterday night. Today morning, when I came back to the table, along with my morning tea, I was heartbroken to see this scene. my 2-year-old daughter, Dhwani, was scribbling with a pen all over the notes I had prepared. And I was left with this. But I had saved 2 jokes from these jokes I have prepared yesterday. So I'll shoot the first question. What shampoo does a doctor use when he doesn't have any patient? Can anybody guess the answer for that? What shampoo does a doctor use
All
when
clear?
clinic all clear? Yeah, that's correct. Wait. The second question. If the number 1 is called jalebi, the sweet, what is 20 of the same things called? Any guesses?
Jalebis.
I'm jalebi seller.
Jalebis, just the plural. That's okay. Yeah, that's it from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepa.
Thank you, Akash. I remember one of the jokes where I still didn't recognize what the joke was. Somebody was telling me that I'm getting married on 29th February, and I actually believed it, and I didn't realize that there was no 29th for a very long time. So it's similar, jalebi and jalebis, it's similar, it's kind of brought in some memories. Big round of applause to our joke master, Akash. Now it's time for the introduction of the main man of today's session, the always dapperly dressed person. He always dresses dapper. I mean, he sets the standards for any Toastmasters meeting. He's a disciplinarian. He's punctual. He has a set of principles he adheres to strictly, almost like a military man. And he is enjoying his life with a lot of things in Toastmasters. I remember when he came to Toastmasters for the first time, he seemed kind of not as happy as I see him now. He has found his passion, I can say. I remember the first day he didn't know what Toastmasters was, and he was speaking with me at WeWork, and I introduced him to the program. He was telling me about all the things that are happening in his life, not knowing what Toastmasters is going to do to his life. Please welcome the youngest man in Toastmasters, our very own Toastmaster Joseph as Toastmaster today.
Thank you, Madam President, for the wonderful introduction, and it is really interesting also. Now I will start with one small information to you, since you mentioned the Suez Canal. It was done, it was the brain of engineer Ferdinand de Lesseps. He was a French engineer who made this wonderful the Suez Canal that brought a great change for the ships which was crossing Cape of Good Hope. So it saved a lot of money on economy of the world. Now, team spirit. Team spirit is nothing but feeling of pride and loyalty among the members. That feeling makes employees or team members to perform well in building a better group of proficient individuals in their job. A team that has unity will have higher level of team spirit. It is because they trust each other, communicate well, and collaborate to reach their goals. Without proper communication and cooperation, unity among the team members is impossible. Hence, it is necessary to encourage strong peer relationship to achieve the organization's goal and objectives. Having a high team spirit has its fair share of benefits that helps any organization immensely. A dynamic team sorry for that. A dynamic team can perform at their best and have a high engagement level because they get well in with each other and have a superior understanding of each other and their strength as well as weakness. Necessary skill set also plays a pivotal role factor in determining the productivity of a team. Knowledgeable team members can share their ideas with others, making the whole group much more efficient and productivity. Also keep in mind the exchange of ideas is crucial to grow and learn, which makes the work environment sustainable. And in return, it relates to the team spirit levels. Teams in good spirits are confident in their jobs and can tackle difficult situations without any hassle. The reason behind this is that team members support each other and are open to making mistakes. They learn from their mistakes and try to improve each other. Teams in good spirits are confident in their jobs and can tackle difficult situations without any hassle. The reason behind this is that team members support each other and are open to making mistakes. They learn from their mistakes and try to improve each other. Consequently, it boosts morale. That significantly builds the team's ability to handle every work with minimal error and helps the organization to generate positive results. Now let us talk about the Toastmasters community. Toastmasters is a community which have strength of belonging. We are here for many years because of community body to learn and excel in our personal development and party spirit. Sorry for the interruption. Toastmaster will wish him or her and each other. Everyone is busy in their work. We share each other, we greet each other, we give much more together, spend together, and don't underestimate the Toastmaster in terms of the team spirit. Welcome to the Toastmasters International Networking Community. On 22nd, 1924, the inception of Toastmaster by a legend, Ralph Medley, was a great success. His aim was that many have to speak well, and it was extended to all over the world. Today, 26,000, 264,000 members in 145 countries, 6,200 clubs, of which 60% of Fortune companies recommended in the world. Now we have 11 pathways where you can choose to speak prepared session. Every speech will have an objective to learn something. Table topics is an impromptu speech where we train you to speak without preparation. We have feedback session and general evaluation. We know it is time to hand over the virtual stage to our general evaluator. He has a great affinity for our club and always responds in our every request. Presently, he is the Vice President Education, Pathway Mentor, and club sponsor of Gabby's Club. He is also a teacher, a trainer, an entrepreneur, and enjoying his parenthood. Let us join our hands to welcome Toastmaster Saurav Datta. Over to you, Toastmaster Saurav Datta.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Joseph Felix. Sorry, this is not Saurav Datta here today as your general evaluator. It is Toastmaster Lakshmi here. And this again shows team spirit because until yesterday, I think it was Saurav who was supposed to be here and playing the role of the general evaluator. But there was something else which came up for him at the last minute, and he just put it up in our officers group. Can someone please pick up this role? So it was Akanksha who had picked it up immediately. And then something else came up on her side. So she couldn't take it. And then I picked it up today in the morning. So probably that information has not passed on to you. So anyways, I think this was like the best example, one of the best examples for team spirit. On that note, I would like to welcome all. Yes,
Can
sir?
you speak about yourself? Because I spoke about Saurav Datta. I need to
No
speak about
problem.
you. So instead of that, you can introduce yourself.
Sure,
I would
I can
appreciate
do
that.
that. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So I'm from the Gabby's Toastmaster Club. I'm the VP PR. By profession, I'm a soft skill trainer. So in short, that's me. And Toastmaster has been a long time, it was there in my wish list, and it happened finally in November 2020. So thanks to Saurav Datta and the Gabby's Toastmasters Club for starting a club, and I could become a part of it. Yes. So now, as a general evaluator today, so recently I watched this video where it is a coach. It's it's a movie. It's a scene from a movie, and the coach asks his players to take like a pile load of bricks which were kept on one end to the other end, and that was, I think, almost about 100 meters run that they had to do. So all of them went ahead, started taking bricks to the other end, and they were like having this competitive spirit, who's going to reach there first. And they were all done. And then the coach said, now I want you to take it back there to the other side. They again, with a lot of competitive spirit, they went ahead and they did that. They moved the bricks from here to the other, ran another 100 meters. Again, the coach said, get it back. Now the bulbs lit. That's okay. The coach is not being dumb here. He's testing something. And that's when they realized he's actually testing how clever or how smartly we can move it as a team. Because they were all practicing, I think, for hockey or football, which means team spirit is the biggest asset that they should have. So immediately, what did they do? They stood in a line. They covered that 100 meters in a single line, and they started passing the bricks to each other. And this time, nobody was tired, and everybody, they were ready to do it another 100 times. So that is the spirit of a good team. Now, today, as a general evaluator, there are a lot of things that I'm noting down. The good things, the not so great things, things that can improve. But can I do it all by myself? No, I'm not a superhuman. I accept it. I need a team who is going to help me work on this efficiently. So as the first member of my team, of my Taggle team, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Akash to explain his role.
Thank you, General Evaluator of the Day, Lakshmi, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. As the timer, it is my duty to help all the role takers and speakers to adhere to the required timelines. To help you with managing your time, I'll show signals to tell you, like, if you have reached the minimum required time for your speech by showing a green digital background, Zoom background. To tell you that if the so that you may be aware that you need to close your speech soon, I'll show you a yellow Zoom background. Once the required time, the time needed for your speech is over, I'll show the red background, and you will be given around 30 seconds grace period to wrap up your speech. So for prepared speeches, the time is 5 to 7 minutes. I'll show a green signal at 5 minutes, a yellow signal at 6 minutes, and a red signal at 7 minutes. For the table topic session, the speech time should be 1 to 2 minutes. So I'll show a green signal at 1 minute, starting 1 minute, and yellow signal at 1 minute 30 seconds, and then a a red signal at 2 minutes. I'll be back with the timer report during the meeting when called upon. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Timer Toastmaster Akash. Now, the next person on my team is the R counter. I have already counted 3 you-knows from me. I wonder how many she has already started counting. So let's invite the R counter for the day, Toastmaster Akanksha.
Thank you, GE Lakshmi. So have you ever had an interaction with someone who was not very fluent in the language? Perhaps an exchange with a small vendor when traveling in another country? Or maybe you were the person who was not very fluent, something that happens to me a lot when I try to speak in local language like Kannada. It's an incredibly frustrating experience for both the listener and the speaker. When we use filler words like etc. in our speeches, they affect our fluency too. And the impact on the listeners is much worse because presentations and speeches are mostly one-way communications with limited scope for the listener to clarify their doubts. It is therefore very important that we refrain from using these filler words when talking to our audience. As an R counter today, I will keep a track of all the filler words, repeat words, and phrases, as well as pauses you have in your speeches, so that you may work on them and avoid using them in your future speeches. I will get back with my report when called on towards the end of the meeting. Over to you, GE.
Thank you, our counter Toastmaster Akanksha. The next in line, the person I dread the most, because this is one area that I'm trying to improve personally. That is the grammarian for the day. Toastmaster John Reno. I would like to call upon you to introduce your role.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So today I will be the grammarian for the meeting. So in order to have a good teamwork, we need to have good communication. To have a good communication, we need to have the effective use of language. Suppose you are communicating your ideas, but it's ambiguous and people are not able to understand it properly, then that is definitely going to be a problem that's going to affect your teamwork. So we should all try and use the right language, the right words to communicate so that our message passes on without any ambiguity. So the word, I'll also be introducing the word of the day today, which is liaison. The meaning is communication and cooperative contact between groups. The example usages are liaison between the police and the art world is vital to combat art crime. She acts as a liaison between patients and staff. I would recommend all the speakers to use the word of the day. And if any of the speakers use it, we'll be acknowledging and appreciating them by showing a thumbs up. And I'll be coming back at the end of the meeting with my report as the General Evaluator calls me. Thank you.
Thank you, grammarian of the day, Toastmaster John. Next, one of the most exciting roles of the day, the listener. So let's hear from the listener, Toastmaster Adarsh, what he is going to do today.
Thank you, General Evaluator, and good evening to all Toastmasters and guests. I'll be playing the role of a listener today. As part of my role, I'll be paying close attention to all of your speeches and table topics. And finally, I'll be posing questions to the audience. Thank you very much, and back to you, General Evaluator.
So now I think all of us know, even those who are not on video, that we'll have to pay close attention to everything that is being spoken here. On that note, and thanking all my team members, my Taggle team members for taking up this role today, I would like to now hand over the meeting back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Joseph.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi, for that wonderful organization as team spirit. A high level of team spirit, understanding, and compassion towards the members of a team. These are crucial elements of a passionate group and pivotal role in building employees' relationship. Positive relationship in the workplace means there is no room for toxic, and the team members share mutual respect. That ensures that job satisfaction remains high and the turnover rate low. Team spirit is very existence is proportional to the right work environment. It's an organization where employees feel to complete the task. The manager feels also the same, enthusiastic, energetic, that increases the eagerness, and work and leaves no room for inactiveness. The team spirit improves its efficiency of each individual, and the sense of commitment grows. And with so much devotion in workplace, employees fulfill the duty without any hiccups. That success rate increases and build organizations' reputation. Now it is time for the prepared speech session. Before I introduce the speaker, number one, may I call upon his speech evaluator, Toastmaster Krishnan, to share his speech objective and timings. Please note, the evaluator will not disclose the name of the speaker. 2. Speaker 1, it is the prerogative of the Toastmaster of the day to introduce the speaker and his title. Please refrain from introducing his name and title. Over to you, Toastmaster Vandana. No, sorry, Toastmaster
Krishna.
Kitchen. Toastmaster Kitchen.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and thank you for having me in your meeting today. So the following speaker speaking from the POF presentation mastery level 1, project number 3, researching and presenting, and for the purpose of for the benefit of the audience, his speech purpose is for the speaker to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. For the benefit of the timer, his speech should run from 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Kitchen, for that objective you have read. The speaker is feeling chunked, as he is one of the most fortunate souls in this universe to get his first dose of COVID-19 before yesterday afternoon at the spick and span, courteous, efficient government medical health center at Kodehalli, Bangalore. Within minutes, without any pre-registration, for which he will remain ever grateful to each and every COVID warrior at the center and across the country. The speaker has recently reinitiated his PATH module. His PATH is presentation mastery. He's giving his his level 1, project 3, researching and presenting. Please join Milan. His speech title is We. Speech title We, Distinguished Toastmaster Milan. Over to you.
Mom and pop stores. Please raise your hand if any one of you had never visited a mom and pop stores in your life. The single most unique feature of mom and pop stores, it is typically family operated. I am going to talk to you about a global business entity which ran like a mom and pop stores as late as September 2019. Since its founding in 2010, the mom and pop stores raised a mountain of money in private market with US dollar 6.8 billion in total equity funding. Since July 2017, its presence was felt very much in our own Bangalore and then spread its wings across other Indian cities like Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, Gurgaon, Noida. In the year 2017, company's global earning was US dollar 886 million, and it lost only US dollar 883 million. In the year 2018, the company revenue was 1.8 billion and it lost 1.9 billion. And still, at the beginning of 2019, the company was valued at 47 billion, which comes to, in Indian rupees, 3,45,000 crores. And still, it was mom and pop stores, typically family operated. The founder and CEO's wife, Rebecca, was the co-founder and the chief brand and impact officer. CEO's brother-in-law ran the company's gym as the head of wellness. The chief product officer was Rebecca's brother-in-law. The longtime head of real estate was Rebecca's cousin. For years, company's mega summer retreats were hosted at a venue in upscale New York, owned by cousin's parents. It is also said that an immediate family member was paid to host 8 live mega events of the company. A typically mom and pop stores indeed. In August 2019, company decided to go public with an indicative valuation of 20 to 30 billion. Media coverage highlighted company's heavy losses revealed in filing disclosures, while analysts expressed misgiving about company's ability to make profits in future and noted they did not expect company's valuation to reach 20 US dollar billion. In September 2019, the IPO was postponed. On September 24th, as company's largest investor, SoftBank, admitted that they had lost confidence in the leadership of the CEO. The CEO had to step down due to backlash during the IPO process. CEO's exit package was valued at US dollar 1.7 billion. In October 2019, the company accepted a bailout deal for US dollar 8 billion from SoftBank, a massive decline of 39 billion. Remember, in January 2019, it was valued at 47 billion. So SoftBank took over as the controlling shareholder. In May 2020, SoftBank admitted company's valuation has fallen down to 2.9 billion from 47 billion in January 2019. SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son confessed in an earnings call that he regretted investing in that company. To quote, "It was foolish on me to invest in the company. I was wrong." Unquote. Toastmaster, it's okay for SoftBank CEO to say sorry and write off billions. They have deep pockets. But what about we? There are innumerable companies which are even now run as pop and mom stores. And many of us, we may be part of such high-profile mom and pop stores as its employees, consultants, liaison officer, compliance officer, executives, board members, independent directors, or auditors, or even as investors. How is this possible in today's world? Maybe because of that rock star, charismatic CEO who, like that legendary Pied Piper of Hamelin, mesmerizes us by the snap of his finger or by a single tweet. To conclude, it is okay for SoftBank CEO to say sorry and write off billions. They have deep pockets. But what about we? Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Milanji, for this wonderful economic analysis of a company, and with respect to that, how we suffer because of their folly. Give a big applause for this wonderful speech of Toastmaster Milanji. Now, the second speaker. Before I introduce the speaker number 2, I call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Sushma, to share the speech objective and timings. Please note, the evaluator will not disclose the name of the speaker and his title.
Okay.
Over to you, Toastmaster Sushma.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Our second speaker is attempting his level 3 project 1 from the Pathway Innovative Planning. The purpose of the speech is how to select key information to submit a proposal. The purpose of the speech is how to select key information to submit a proposal. Timer, please note the allotted time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to TMOD.
Thank you, evaluator Toastmaster Sushma. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Nelson. His speech title is Membership Drive. Membership Drive, Toastmaster Nelson.
According to most studies, people number one fear is public speaking, but two is that is number two. Does that sound is right? Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Public speaking is a very important for every leader. Without this talent, nobody will accept you as a leader. The art of speech, these skills we can't buy, we can't borrow, Nobody can't feed you. You have to learn with your own effort. Yes, public speaking is a learning process, not one-time learning. It's a continuous learning process. Anybody can learn the public speaking skill, leadership skill, with strong support and practice. All the speakers are born, all the speakers were bad speaker first. Yes. Example, we also born, we not speak at our childhood. We will make a sound and crying. After that, with our parents' support, we learn language and how to speak, and everything will come on the line. Yes. Just like yes, public speaking also same like that. Are you interested to learn speaking skill? If yes, means this Toastmaster International will help you to improve your public speaking skill and leadership skill. Toastmaster International is a non-profit educational organization. It teach you public speaking and leadership skill for the worldwide network. Membership exceeded 364,000 members, more than 16,200 clubs in 145 countries. It's a 100 years old Cosmos organization. Yes, is it true? It started in 1924. Still, that organization is still running. Toastmaster International helps people to diverse backgrounds become a more confident speaker and communicator and leaders. What you learn here? Yes, you can learn a lot of things in Toastmaster Club. For essentially 7 skills, basic skill can learn. Also, you have a lot of skills. 7 skills are your public speaking skill, build your leadership skill, maximize your potential, enjoy unlimited personal growth, working on networking in a small supportive environment, practicing and writing speech, and presenting in the group setting. Gain a confident advantage in a workplace. These are the skills. Apart from also, you can learn all the skills. A lot of there are also a lot of learning materials available that Master Club, like interview preparation and online meeting management and leadership development and project management, conflict resolution. Another thing, Master Clubs have educational program called as a pathway programs. There are 7 specialized programs available in multiple language. You can learn from anywhere and anytime. Anywhere. There are 11 projects are dynamic leadership, effective coaching, engaging humor, innovative plan, leadership development, and motivational strategy, and present mastery, strategic relationship, and team collaboration, and vision communication. And Toastmaster clubs have the monthly ones magazine. It will help you to improve your reading skill. Also, you know more about the topic speaking and other clubs in the worldwide. Main thing is Toastmaster Club have weekly meeting in 1.5 hours, including speech, impromptu speech, and evaluation session. These sessions will improve you multiple angle, improve your skills. But speech, it's just 4 to 7 minute speech. Here you can learn a lot of things. Preparing speech and writing speech and content writing and speaking in front of the audience. You will fear will remove from you. and of the speech and everything will know. And second is impromptu speech. Impromptu speech is a very interesting session in that meeting. It's just 2 minutes talk. Without preparation, suddenly you can talk at that stage. It will help you to improve your communication skill and your confidence level will increase and stimulate your brain to talk more. And last, evaluation session. Evaluation session is nothing but feedback speech. You can learn how to give feedback. Art of the Toastmaster education program. Observing the speech and giving the positive and negative feedbacks. It will help you to improve your listening skill and motivations others. Apart from this, you have a lot of roles like Sergeant at Arms, TMOD, and table topic session. And typical roles are like grammarian, timer, and accountant. These roles will help you to get more confidence strong in your life. So, interested to join our club, the membership fee will be 3,999 rupees for 6 months. You can ask why this much amount. See, it's a very small amount. If you join other local or small institution in your station, they will charge 40,000 to 1 lakh for just 4 months. It will teach you very less and uh, uh, forget you. But not Toastmaster will teach you, make you practice number of times on the stage in front of the audience. Also, will recognize you and will award it every time. And also, each members have the mentor. They will help you to how to prepare speech and content writing and demonstrate and everything. They'll be a backbone of you. Will help from day starting to end. One more thing, it is not compulsory to join immediately. You can attend the meeting as a guest. If you're interested, you can join our club. We'll not force you to join. As human brain will start working the moment of your born and never stops until you stand up and speak in public speaking. Hope you are ready to join. If you're interested to join our club, please touch with our VP memberships. Thank you. Over to somebody.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nelson. I would like to ask you to introduce yourself because I could not do that in view of the some internet problem. Can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Sir. Hello, fellow Toastmaster and guest. My name is Nelson Jayakumar. I'm a member in 2 years in the Speech Your Toastmaster Club. I'm working in Apollo Hospital, some marketing executive. That's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nelson. Please give a great round of applause for Toastmaster Nelson for his successful attempt in delivering this speech. Now we are going to another session. I just want to explain. When there is a mutual respect and trust among the team members, it portrays high team spirit levels. Shared trust and faith warrants employees can be dependent on their colleagues. And with admiration, employees feel proud to be part of a group. Furthermore, everyone in the team will assess each other's strength and weakness and improve them and become better. It shows that the organization has an employee-centric culture that focuses on empowering them and building leadership qualities while keeping the spirits high. Now it is time to introduce the table topic master. The table topic master is a software engineer in Accenture. He says his future goal is to become a public speaker, teaching communication skills to rural students. He also to become agronomist, bring chemical-free food to society, and donate 50 blood 50 times in a year. Playing football and cricket happens to be his hobby. Please join your hands in welcoming the table topic master, Toastmaster Venu Karthik. Over to you, Toastmaster Venu Karthik.
Thank you, TMOD Joseph sir. Actually, not in a year, it is my lifetime achievement, giving donating blood 50 times. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I am taking the role of table topic master. So, table topics helps people to practice the art of improvising their communication skills, and also it helps us to think on their feet. So this helps us to develop our four vital communication skills. One is the listening, and the second one is thinking, organizing, and delivering your speech. So be it an interview or a question asked in your office or at a meeting, you aren't expecting to answer that. So these table topics will help you to get better thinking with presence on the spot. So surprisingly, I don't have any topics to give you. So instead, I will be showing few pictures in my virtual backgrounds. So based on that pictures, you need to speak for 2 minutes. Please note, you are required to speak for a minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. Our timer today will help you showing is a virtual timing background. So when you reach minimum qualification time, he will displaying the green card in his virtual background. So when you reach intermediate time, he will be displaying yellow card in his virtual background. So once you reach the maximum qualified time, he will be showing a red card in his virtual background. And for each table topic speaker, additional 30 seconds will be given to complete your speech. So I would randomly call a few of the members. So I will be showing a picture in my virtual background, so you can continue your speech based on that picture. So first I would like to call Toastmaster Vandana. So Vandana, you can see the screen, right?
Yeah. It's this one.
So you can give your speech based on this picture. Over to you, Toastmaster Vandana.
This painting, it looks so funny. I was at work and I had stored a small canvas in my cupboard. While I was clearing out, my colleague took hold of it, held it out in front of everyone, and made fun of me. How did I feel then? I felt disappointed. I felt maybe I'm not that great an artist. I went back home. I took my paintbrush and paint and looked at myself in the mirror and asked, will I ever be a good artist? I gave it up and I went to sleep. But the next day, I saw a beautiful painting in my mail and I thought, oh, I want to make great art like this. I want to be good enough to be able to do and draw like this. So I went to work. I looked at my friend who made fun of me and thought to myself, he knows nothing about art. And after work, I came back home, took my brush and paintings, and I tried to draw. Yes, it was horrible. It was horrible. But I continued to do it again and again. Many a times, people made fun of me. 2 years I worked on canvases, splashed paint, used knife, used brush, painted and doodled over it. I did it every day I could. I always kept a small book next to me and I kept doodling my ideas that I could draw on a long, big canvas. And one day, I quit my job. 2 weeks later, I sent a mail to all my friends in the office and I said, I invite you to my art exhibition. Think of this as a get together before I leave the city. And that was my proudest moment. When someone tells you you can't paint, don't stop, don't fail. Try again and continue till you think you are happy with your goal. Has someone stopped you before? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vandana. You have narrated it so well. So it was an really inspiring speech within the 2 minutes. Thank you for that. And now I will share the second picture. And I would like to invite Toastmaster Rosemary.
Rosemary is our guest. So before which, can I ask Rosemary to introduce yourself to us? Welcome to Speech Weavers. I forgot to get some guest introductions. I see, I think, Kavita, Rosemary. Can we pause for a bit, Vinu? I'll just get their introductions, just so that they feel
Yes,
more
yes,
comfortable.
Deepa.
Rosemary, are you there?
Yeah, very much. Hi, good evening.
Yeah, so this is a table topic. You heard the instructions. You'll have to try out a topic for 1 to 2 minutes, talk on it impromptu. So I hope you, Joseph sir was somebody who told me that you're coming. Can you give us an introduction about where you're coming from and how you got interested in Toastmasters?
Yeah, sure. Good evening, everybody. This is Rosemary here. Am I audible? Yes?
Yes,
Okay,
you are
great.
audible.
Yeah. So I'm basically from Kerala, born and brought up in Muscat, settled in Bangalore since around 10 years now. I work as Chief Manager Training for Kotak Life Insurance since around 4 years. So that is how I've come across Mr. Joseph Felix Benedict, who was very kind enough to invite me to this meeting. So yeah, I'm settled here with my family. I have one husband and 3 little boys. So it's typically like living in a boys' hostel, if any of you are wondering. So yeah, that's a bit about me. Anything else you'd like to know?
Great to know,
I'm
Rosemary. I think
really
now
not
we'll
sure
give
how
you a
this
topic.
goes or anything, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
so Vinu, you can highlight again so that she can
Yeah,
give
I will
it
be
right.
hi, Rosemary. I will be sharing my virtual background. I will be sharing an image. You need to talk on that image for 2 minutes.
Do be kind, yeah. Is there a cue to start?
Yeah, you can start now.
Oh, great. Thank you. Well, one of the biggest things that we miss from our childhood would be perhaps the pencils and the scribbles and the drawings and the freedom rather that we had to actually make mistakes. Because as a child, I have, 3 children who run around the house and, use the whole of, each and every wall in the house that we have as their canvas. They draw with whatever that they feel that they are comfortable with, maybe a pen, maybe a pencil, a marker, and most of the times people find, or parents rather find, that very some kind of a grave error, mistake, and you try to correct them. But then as a child, you always, whenever you start writing, you would always start with a pencil, where one of the biggest memories would be having a pencil with a rubber at the end or an eraser at the end of it. And one of the best things was, you would make a mistake and immediately you had a correction. You had, an option to correct yourself right at the end of the same pencil. Somehow over the years you grow up and reach a point where you transfer to pens, and I think that gets to our life too, where we feel that mistakes can be forgiven is out of the closet, and people kind of feel that whatever you say, whatever you do have implications and that they are somehow permanent. So I think it's sometimes great to go back to our childhood, not just for the things that we miss, but probably to also go back to the time where we need to say or we need to feel, and not just for us but for everybody around us, that whatever happens might not be intentional, and probably that a bit of eraser at the end of whatever we do would be great, not just for us but for everybody around us. Right? I think that's it. Thank you. I can see a yellow buzzer, and yeah, I'm done.
Thank you, Rosemary, for sharing your childhood memories.
Yeah.
And I would like to call upon Komal, Toastmaster Komal. Komal, you are there?
So I'll take the privilege of introducing Komal. Komal is a speech crafter. So she's been part of the speech craft session as a participant for 3 sessions now. And tomorrow she will be giving an icebreaker. Komal, are you ready for the table topics? Komal, are you there? Forgive me, I think I have a bandwidth issue. Am I not hearing things, or is Komal not?
Yeah, we can hear you, Deepa.
Okay, Komal is not responding, is it? There's been a lag in my computer. We can go to the next participant. Perhaps Yash. Yeah. I think this is the same Yash that I spoke to, if I'm not wrong. Yash, are you there? Okay.
Hello.
Okay, Venu, go ahead.
He called.
Yes.
Yes, responded.
Yes. Good evening, Toastmasters and the guest. Yasha.
Hi, Yash. A table topic will be given by Venu now. Are you game for it?
Done. Okay. Yes, done. Let me take
a chance. I'll be sharing my screen.
Yeah.
So here is the picture for you. You can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I can see no. Great. Good evening, Toastmasters and honorable guests who are present for today's evening talks. And this table talk is very exciting. That's on no, and there's also a
I think he is on the mute.
Yes, we cannot hear you. Okay, meanwhile, I will go to the next participant. So I would like to call Toastmaster Adarsh.
B. So just before this.
I think yes, she's having network issues. So I would like to call upon Toastmaster Adarsh.
All right. Shall we go ahead?
Yes, Adarsh. I will be sharing my screen. So once can you see the screen, right?
Having issues at the moment.
Can you see now?
I'm starting to have some issues, so would you mind if I just, logged out and logged back in? Because I think I have some internet connectivity issues. I think that's what the problem is.
Vinu, can
Yes,
I
Deepa.
interrupt? Vinu,
Yes,
can you
Deepa.
give it to probably, I think Krishna is trying to attempt.
Am I audible?
A lot of disturbance going on. Yash, I just want to say, okay, he got logged out. So Vinu, I think we can go ahead with Krishna. I think he's interested in taking the topic. If I'm
Yeah.
no, okay, sorry. Then probably we can go ahead with the next person you have in mind. There's a lot of disturbance. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I think some network issues.
So Others is not there, right? Hi,
No, he's
Others.
not
So right,
here.
Okay.
I can take it to the topics. I didn't want to
Yeah.
propose because I'm doing evaluation afterwards, but it's okay.
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
I wish I would say no, but yes, I can see your screen.
Yeah, this is a table topic master screen.
Yeah, I can see it. Nice start.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, to the left is the mind of someone who's stressed, completely stressed at work. And if you can see my screen right now, this may be a good solution. Beat the stress. But then you'll get stressed by reading this book because it's quite chunky. But to the right of the screen is someone who has a growth mindset. That means that person is actually growing, is not thinking about, oh my God, I need to wake up, go to the office, and then come back home and then sit and then join a Toastmasters meeting on Zoom. I'm so bored. I want to hang myself. No, it's someone who is thinking about, okay, I've got a Toastmasters meeting. How do I improve on that? Do I take a role? Do I work on a speech? Do I do an evaluation? And yes, for me, this picture speaks loads because this is actually my life. The red head that was completely full and red, red signifies alarm, anything bad. That was me until the age of 30. Yes, I'm not that young. 30 years old, that was me, wanting to do everything and anything, and at the end, achieving nothing. But then I started my own personal development. I joined Toastmasters, and the best thing of all, I got mentors who helped me develop the growth mindset. That flower in my head, I believe that's me at the moment. And my encouragement to everyone is you don't have a flower, you have flowers and roses and petunias growing in your head. Obviously, not literally, because then you have to go and visit the doctor, but you get the gist, right? Personal development is a choice. It's a way of life. It's how we wake up in the morning and how we go to bed. So you need to ask yourself, do you want to be the brain on the left or the brain on the right? It's up to you. Mr. Table Topics Master.
I have a feeling that Vinu is having network issues and he's logged out. Correct me if I'm wrong. Vandana, is Vinu there?
Just let me quickly see. No, it's not. No, Vinu is not there.
Okay. I think I'll put. Thank you, Krishna, for that wonderful table topic. I'll continue with two more topics then.
I'd like to invite Deepa actually, because since you're contesting, so can I give you a topic?
Okay. Okay.
Are you sure?
Is
Sure.
time allowed? Time?
Yeah, we can do this.
We can give to Deepa because Sunday is our contest, so let's give it to Deepa. Good point. Yeah, go ahead.
A forgotten wish. A forgotten wish. Toastmaster Deepa.
Wish. There are thousands of things that we wish for every day, but do we get back all that we wished for? Yes? No? No. There are only some wishes which eventually become our become true. Why is that? Because wishes are simply dreams. If we keep wishing, we have to convert them to goals and work towards these goals. And only then will they transform into reality. What was the last thing that you remember wishing for and still dream about it? I wished in my house to have a garden filled with flowers of all colors, of all varieties, of all fragrances, because I love them. There's some magical quality about flowers that I long for every day. When I wake up and I go to my garden and see a flower, it instantly uplifts my mood. Now, has it become a wish? I must say, of the wish just stagnating because I didn't put in enough. I didn't go put the required elements to my garden. I didn't take care of it enough. And I didn't explore for more flowers. So, ladies and gentlemen, anything that you wish for, keep in mind, you have to have a time-bound manner of going about it. You need to set some deadlines. There is something magical about deadlines. It really works. As adults, we don't know why we don't work well because as children, we always had deadlines, but as adults, we have nothing. We don't have anybody telling, hey, you have to complete it by this time. So grow your wishes, grow yourself, nurture those goals, work for it, and you will see that you will reach there in no time. Mr. Contest Master, Miss Contest Master, sorry.
Great job, Deepa. I give it over to Toastmaster, Table Topic Master Vinu.
Thank you, Vandana. And sorry, suddenly my internet got issues, so I dropped off. And thanks for pitching in, Vandana, and giving the table topic. So, Deepa, do you have time, or we can wind up this table topic
We can
session?
wind up, we can wind
Okay.
up.
Yeah. So thanks for all the participants. So we enjoyed thoroughly the table topic sessions. Hope you also enjoyed this. Once again, thank you to all the participants. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Joseph. Toastmaster Joseph.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venukarthik. That was a wonderful way of innovation in putting the figure on the screen, the subject, and people have to think and then start speaking. And we have really had a great speakers who will never give what you can say, they will never set back to take the challenge. That is the speakers today that we have seen. Give a big applause to Venu Karthik as well as the participants who have participated in the table topic. Now it is time to hand over the stage to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Over to you, Toastmaster Lakshmi.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Joseph. Looks like internet didn't want to work in liaison with us today, and we had a little problem, but that's okay. That's what comes with the online mode. So let's start today's general evaluation or the evaluation session by inviting our evaluator 1, Toastmaster Krish, to evaluate our speaker 1, DTM Millen.
Madam General Evaluator, ladies and gentlemen, do you believe that sometimes the choices we make affect the life of others? If yes, please raise your hand. Okay, a few hands are being raised. Well, that's the point I want to make, and that's the point I got from the speech by Toastmaster Millen. Toastmaster Millen did a few things very nicely. Number one, I believe he had a good structure because I heard at the start a clear introduction where he in turn asked me to raise my hand, got me connected, and then moved into his body where he had a lot of information. And at the end, he closed asking us, what about not us, but what about we, making the speech unique for him that makes him memorable and unforgettable to me. Thank you. As he went along, Toastmaster Millen practiced good pronunciation and enunciation. Although I struggled a bit with mom and pop stores because I'd never heard of that before, the remaining words used in the speech were well put out and aligned, and were well paced and made use of poses to prove the transitions. What do I mean by that? I believe Toastmaster Millen had the good mix of pace and poses as he went along, because I could hear the punctuation marks, the commas, the exclamation marks, because, oh yes, he had a lot of exclamation when he was talking about the millions. And Toastmaster Millen, congratulations, because I believe you met your speech purpose. It was supposed to be research and information, and you had research, which you shared by informing me. Thank you for that. Now, how do we elevate this speech? Well, Toastmaster Millen, let me share 3 little gifts with you. Gift number 3 is your sources of information. I heard a lot, especially when you're talking about the figures, the billions and billions and billions. And I was wondering, where he's getting all the information from. So my gift is for you to share with me the source of information. That not only makes you empathetical, it makes you credible. Gift number 2 is part of the vocal presence, the tone and the power. Although the pace, the poses, and the pitch were right, I couldn't hear the emotions at times. I wanted to hear the emotions through the use of tone. For example, the billions and the billions and the billions. It was instead the power that was just going up and up and up. Even when you came close to the screen and looked at me, I was expecting for you to whisper, but it was going up and up. So my recommendation here is lower the power when it needs to and increase it when it needs to, and work on putting in the emotions. And talking about emotions, here's my gift number 1, the personal story. I heard a lot of information, but I wanted to hear about your experience with the moms and pop stores. How did you get affected? Because if you had put that, the human connection with me would have just been, wow. I would have wanted to know more and Google about pop and mom stores or mom and pop stores. Having said that, the best moment I loved with your speech, Toastmaster Millen, is the physical presence. You were there, you were very animated, and it was with purpose. The hands, the millions, the billions, billions. And you were using your whole virtual stage. Although at times I saw this going from side to side, you were not poised at times, but I believe it was the energy coming out and sharing the message. So keep doing what you're doing. Practice quoting your sources, practice the tone and the power, put in the personal story, and I think you're going to be amazing. Madam John Evaluator, I apologize for going out of time.
Thank you so much, Evaluator 1, Toastmaster Krish. And very rightly put, I think you have covered most of the points that I have written down as well. And I really appreciate the use of the word gift here instead of, saying it as a feedback. Yes, of course, it is a gift that we give our speakers. DTM Millen, I really appreciate, I don't think I have anything more to add to what our evaluator has added. However, just to help you or enhance or make it easier for you to deliver your next speech, I just want to ask you one question. Did you have a mic on while you were speaking, or you were speaking directly into the laptop speaker?
Speaking on the laptop speaker directly.
Okay, so now there is a difference. Now I think you have a mic on. Is it?
The mic is not on. No,
it is not on. Okay, so the thing is, if you can use a mic, so generally what happens is when we try to speak without a mic, we tend to speak loudly, thinking that our voice might not get transmitted. So, but when you use a mic, any kind of mic, the voice is under control. And that would help you in delivering your speech as well. It makes it more easy. So if you can use a mic, I think it would absolutely enhance, because as your evaluator did mention, throughout the speech, we could feel a high energy, even when there were places when you could have whispered or gone down a little bit. And the reason for that is probably you were just trying to reach out to us by being loud. Yes, so that's it. All the very best and congratulations. Now I would like to invite the evaluator two, Toastmaster Sushma, to evaluate our second speaker for the day.
Yeah, good evening once again, Toastmasters. I would start with positive notes and second speaker, Nelson. Well-crafted speech and well-researched. Almost he has covered all the areas which says about Toastmasters, and his language is very clear and easily understood. The best part was clearly mentioned about all the roles about from SAA to table topic master he has mentioned, and his local vocal variety was clear. He has spoken with appropriate pauses and the language was very clear. Due to internet issues, voice was breaking, so few things I could not make a note. But when it comes to recommendations, he can add physical gestures as a tool which would enhance speech. And when it comes to eye contact, in this virtual case, it is looking at the camera. If he can add little energy to his speech, audience would be more attentive. It would have engaged audience very well, and he could have probe few questions in order to attract the audience. And the and one more thing I would like to add, if you can add what Toastmasters does beyond individual, like what benefit it does overall community, and you could have connected with the personal story, it would have enhanced the speech. And overall, I would like to know whether he has delivered sitting or standing position. I think if you can.
He is in sitting position.
Okay, if he can stand and deliver, it elevates speech. Overall, I would say it was comprehensive with a good conclusion. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Evaluator two, Toastmaster Sushma, for that elaborate and detailed, evaluation that you have given our speaker to, Toastmaster Nelson. I think you've covered most of the points. Just one thing that I would like to bring him here was there was an audio issue with Toastmaster Nelson, and I did put it across, but I think there were just two of us who also, agreed with it. So probably, excuse me, I should have intervened there and probably requested him to, restart or recheck. But the reason I didn't do that, or I didn't want to stop him, was because I thought the evaluator was able to hear it clearly. Because it was almost at the 5th minute, I think, when the green light was about to come, that, the evaluator did mention that it was not very clear. These things, online mode, happens everywhere. So how do we work on it? My request is, before the meeting starts, if all the role takers, especially the speakers and the TMOD, can do a thorough audio video check, it would really help. I'm not sure if Nelson's audio video check was done in the beginning. So if it could be done, if it could be added mandatorily before, you join 15 minutes early and have that, it would really enhance the quality of the speech as well. Thank you. Now, moving on to my Taggle team. I would like to first call upon the timer.
Yeah. Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Lakshmi. Coming to the timer report, Sergeant at Arms started the meeting exactly at 5 p.m. The TMOD got the control of the meeting at 5:13 p.m. Coming to the duration of the speeches, prepared speech speaker 1 DTM Milind took 7 minutes 16 seconds. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Nelson, took 8 minutes 28 seconds. For the evaluation, Toastmaster Krish for the first speech, first speaker took 3 minutes 48 seconds. Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Sushma, took 2 minutes 28 seconds. Coming to the table topic sessions, first speaker Vandana took 2 minutes 18 seconds. Second speaker Rosemary took 1 minute 49 seconds. For speaker 3, I since it was dropped in between, I could note till 0 minute 47 seconds only. So that's not correct. Speaker 4, Chris, took 2 minute 15, 2 minute 1 second. Speaker 5, Deepa, took 1 minute 57 seconds. And that is the timer report for today. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, timer, TM Akash. I must say, Akash, that thank you so much for, I really appreciate the fact that you showed how your background was going to change and when it is going to change, the green, yellow, and the red, especially for new speakers in the TTM part of it. It was very useful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. One point of, to enhance, we are all here to become better people. So one thing is, if you could rehearse your speech a little more or the script a little more, there would have been more fluency and people could have connected a little more easier with you when you briefed about your role. So that's the only feedback I have for you. And I'm assuming everyone is qualified today, right? Everyone is within the time limit.
Yeah, for table topics, everyone is qualified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, timer. Next, we have the R counter for the day, Toastmaster Akanksha.
Thank you, G. Lakshmi. It was a pleasure listening carefully to all of you tonight. I got a lot out of it, and better me counting your hours than you counting mine. Now I'll give you feedback, which is, of course, to bring your awareness to your speaking and to help you improve. I would like to share my screen. If I'll just. Yes. Can all of you see the screen? Yes? Okay. So as you can see, the filler sounds were used most today, and the most used filler sound was R with 43 usages. And our joke master Akash and Toastmaster Shushma and Toastmaster Renu used it quite generously. And I would also want to make a special mention to our TMOD, who did not use any filler sounds and filler words. There were a few repeats and a couple of pauses, but mention there is needed. And we had perfect speakers today as well, like DTM Milind, no filler sounds again. Toastmaster Krishna, at least I could not hear any filler sounds and filler words. There were a few repeats and pauses in all of them, but just a couple. And the others, as you can see, I have also used a lot of hours here, and the others were limited to 5 or 6 hours. There were UNOs that were used quite often that we can work on. And here is my report. And I'll stop the screen share now. And one thing, I have not been able to report on the grammarian and the listener because I still have to listen to their speeches. If they want, I can share the report later on with them. Thank you. Over to you, GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akanksha, for that detailed report. I really appreciate the fact the way you gave us an example in the beginning about not just the English language, but any language and how that can affect the communication with people. When you have, I just used or in all of this, right? Thank you so much. Just a feedback or an enhancement here. So when you showed us this detailed report, yes, most of us would just go to our own names and see how many we have, already used. So I don't think you really need to go back and mention that, okay, this person has used these many. However, it was very good that you did mention people who didn't use any repetitive words or, crutch words. That's a great way of doing it. So thank you so much. Before going to our next person on my tag team, who's a grammarian, I think let me use the word once again, liaison. I, as a GE, cannot, I, as a GE, can perform my tasks only in liaison with my team, the Taggle team. So I would like to invite the grammarian of the day to give us his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So there was a good liaison by all the speakers with the language. There were wonderful words used, wonderful phrases used, which I'll be sharing my screen to present it. I think the host has disabled my screen sharing. Could you please? Can you please activate my screen sharing? Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
The host.
Vandana.
Yeah,
Vandana,
already given the screen share.
Okay.
No, I'm still not able to.
Can you make him co-host? I'm not able to make him co-host.
Okay, that sense I'll have to. Is it possible? Otherwise, I'll have to just read it out.
Can we probably read it out if it's taking time?
Okay, I'll go ahead. Okay, the overall usage of the language was more towards the usage of phrases. Unfortunately, I couldn't see much exotic use of new words, etc. today being played out by the speakers here. So Toastmaster Vandana used reshuffle of role players, doodle over, good phrases there. Toastmaster Deepa, it's a given, stiff competition, treat for you, little bit of snippets, rip tickling humor, long for. Toastmaster Agash, jot down, adhere to the timelines. Toastmaster Joseph, fair share, engagement level, pivotal role, affinity for the club, leaves no room, folly. Toastmaster Lakshmi, passed on, pile load of bricks, bulbs lit, dread the most. Toastmaster Akanksha, incredibly frustrating. Distinguished Toastmaster Milinth, spread its wings, backlashes, write off, deep pockets, write it off. Toastmaster Rosemary, implications. Toastmaster Christian, quite chunky, gruff mindset, speaks, loads, animated. So I would recommend the speakers to also try and use some, rare words which we don't use, especially during the speeches, some adjectives and some very, exotic words which could also enhance your speech. And coming to the not so good usages, I observed had saved. So actually it's a past perfect, but the action happened only yesterday as per what the speaker mentioned. So it could be made simpler to be saved rather than had saved. And there was one more usage, ships which was crossing. Since it's plural, it should be ships which were crossing. Toastmasters have strength. Toastmasters doesn't mean in this context, doesn't mean the Toastmaster members. It means the Toastmaster as the entity. So it has to go singular. That is, Toastmasters has strength. Fear will remove from you. It should be fear. Your fear will be gone. And taking a role of table topics master. It could be taking a role of table topics master. It could be taking their role because there is only one role of table topics master here, so that could be the better usage there. what it could done overall to a society, what it could do overall to a society. That would be the better usage. And as far as I observed, only DTM Milind and our general evaluator Lakshmi used the word of the day, liaison. So that is the report from me. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you so much, our grammarian for the day. That was an absolutely detailed report where you showed us what were the good usages and also the corrections. You didn't just point out the mistakes, but you also said how we can correct it. Thank you so much for that. One suggestion or a point of improvement here again is that the word of the day. Now, this word today, liaison, at times it's a word that we don't use that often. So what happens is we might not know how to use it in the sentence. So that could be the reason why you didn't hear too many people using it today. So if you have words, new words, of course, but which can be easily used in a sentence, the word of the day would, you would be used much more. Having said that, I would encourage every member to continue to use this word at least for a day or two, and then it would become part of your daily life. So please go ahead and use this word. The next person in my tag team is the listener. Listener, Toastmaster Adarsh.
Thank you, General Evaluator. We have come to the time of the session where I pose questions to each and every one of you to see how attentive you people have been. So to start off, I have a set of questions that I'd like to ask, and anybody can step up and volunteer. Or in case if you feel that one of them wants to step up and volunteer, then I have no issues with it as well. So shall we go ahead? All right. Yeah. So I'd like to start off by asking the question, what is the theme of today's session? So I'll take any answer as long as it's synonymous with the title.
Team spirit.
Team spirit.
Yes.
Team spirit.
All right then. So team spirit does match the title, but this was the title that I read on the WhatsApp group, and it says, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much more. But as long as it's synonymous with it, I have no issues with it whatsoever. So we shall move to the next question, and that is, at the start of the session, we spoke about a few events highlighting the importance of togetherness. I want you to name one. Anyone? Anyone? Anyone can step up and answer the question.
Can you repeat, please? Can you repeat the question, please?
So at the start of the session, we spoke about various events highlighting togetherness. So name one event that comes to your mind.
Like even at home also, we can see the team spirit at among family members as well.
Yes, but I don't think we spoke about that at the start. I don't think we spoke about that.
It was mentioned by Deep. It was mentioned by Deepa.
I heard something from Joseph, sir.
Cannot.
Yes, that's one of the things that we spoke about, and we also spoke about our weekly Toastmasters session, where all of us liaison to talk about various things that we are interested in, all with the intention of improving ourselves. Moving on to the next question, and I urge the Toastmaster of the day to refrain from answering this question because I'm pretty confident that he knows the answer to it. So, who was the developer of the Suez Canal? Anyone?
I cannot answer.
I know that's a very difficult question, but I'm pretty confident that most of you weren't even able to hear it because of the connection disruptions. But
it was a French person. Was it a French engineer?
Yes, it was a French engineer.
I'm not able to get the name though. Sorry.
All right, then I think I'm going to go ahead and answer the question. Or I'm going to let Joseph, sir, go ahead and answer the question for all of you. Sir?
And Gillespie.
Yes, that is the answer to the question. So we shall move to the next question, which is, what is the name of the Japanese conglomerate that the speaker Milind used in his speech? The company made various investments, notably in mom and pop stores, and incurred massive losses. What is the name of the company in question?
SoftBank.
SoftBank.
Yes, that is the answer to the question. And we shall move to the final question of the day. I'm pretty confident that most of you weren't able to use the word of the day today. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask the question, what is the word of the day?
License.
License.
All right.
License.
So that will be all for my report today. And over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Adarsh, and special thanks for asking what was the word of the day. Thank you. Now, with that, I would like to quickly walk through my report before we could conclude. The meeting started off with a lot of energy from our SAA, Toastmaster Vandana. The minute she came on screen, she had everybody's attention and she knew her job. Thank you so much, Vandana, for building up that energy and boosting us up there for the event. Having said that, I think somewhere down the lane, that energy went down a little. I'm not sure why. Somewhere, okay. That is very unlikely of you, because as long as I have known you, your energies are always high. So that's just one feedback. Next, coming to the presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Deepa. What do I tell about her? She encouraged, the first thing as a leader, she encouraged her team members to speak. She asked that question and she had about 2 to 3 people opening up and speaking. So that itself got the audience engagement, which was much necessary for the day. Then she went ahead to share about the speech craft details and also about the Toastmaster of the month. Now, generally what I have noticed is when such kind of announcements are made, people would just say, okay, there's a speechcraft event coming up, or the Toastmaster of the month is this person. But I really appreciate the fact that, Deepa, you went a step ahead and explained how the Toastmaster of the month is selected, and also what is speechcraft and why we should be attending that. Thank you so much for that, Toastmaster Deepa. The Joke Master. I think you should have asked another 2-3 more questions. I thoroughly enjoyed those 2 questions that you had asked today, and I wish you had asked another 2-3 more questions. But somewhere, I think in the beginning, it felt like you were reading from a book, or were you just looking at the book? Not when you were asking the question, but before that, during that introduction part. I think you were just trying to, look at the scribble that was there. I think that's what was happening. Anyways, but I really liked the method of which, you engaged with the audience. Thank you so much for that. Next, coming to the TMOD of the day. Oh my God, such an informative, eye-opening speech by our TMOD today. As our counter mentioned, not a single repetitive word, not a single crash word was used. Very well scripted and well rehearsed speech is what I would like to say, Toastmaster Joseph. And I really like the way you brought out the good qualities that a team should have and how to build the morale of a team. Now, having said this, as a Toastmaster of the day, I think if you could kind of engage with the audience a little more, it was more like a speech. Instead of that, if you could have a little more engagement with the audience, it would have been, it will keep the energy of the audience also higher. So that's just a small point for you to, work on. I've already covered my Taggle team. So then coming to the table topic master, it was such a brilliant session that was going on. Your pictures really needed some thought for the speaker to actually open up and speak. Unfortunately, the internet just gave up. And I think we had 2 speakers who couldn't speak at that point of time, which is okay. At that point, there was one person who pitched in and proved team spirit, Toastmaster Vandana. And I'll tell you why I'm talking about team spirit here once again. Now, both of them are contesting in the event tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, right? Vandana and Toastmaster Deepa. Even then, they decided to collaborate and practice together. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vandana, for that. There was just one point, yes, during the table topic session, I think when the second speaker was invited, that was guest Rosemary, Toastmaster Deepa, the presiding officer, she realized that the guest was not introduced, and immediately she took charge and decided to introduce the guest. Great job on that. However, I would like to say that if you had probably kept that introduction to the point when the stage was handed back to you, like during the end of the meeting, it probably wouldn't have cut the flow of the table topic session. Overall, I would like to say, I hope I've covered everyone. Yes, I think I've covered everyone. Thank you so much for this wonderful meeting, and most importantly, the theme for the day today. That is team spirit, because Ubuntu, right? That's like our favorite phrase these days, Ubuntu. I am because we are. On that note, I would like to hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Joseph.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi, for the wonderful evaluation, very detailed evaluation, and your advice is really great in every point that you have said. And one has to really think of it and accept. In my case, I would say that last night I fell ill very much, and my whole body is paining. I could not even stand. It is just because I don't want to disappoint my president, Madam Deepa. I attended this, and that is why I have a low voice in this one. I'm so sorry for that.
I think you deserve a standing ovation, sir.
Thank you so much. So the presence of team spirit defines a good workplace culture. I have 5 easy ways to help you to organize and to incorporate and encourage team spirit in the workplace. One is great community flow, organize team lunch and events, make room for appreciation, practice problem solving skills, and mentoring your employees. With this, I would hand over the virtual stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Deepa. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepa.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Joseph. Again, this is a team spirit, because there was a hard stop for Toastmaster Deepa, our presiding officer. So she just pinged me on WhatsApp and asked me to join and take the role on the fly as the presiding officer. So I thoroughly enjoyed the entire, as they say, it was a walk the talk, right from the beginning to the end. It was all team spirit, whether it was general evaluator, whether it was other role takers, table topic master, dropping off in between. So that was the real walk the talk done by us today. Now, may I request all the participants who are still there to vote for the best role takers as per the, it's in the chat window, it's already shared over there. So please take some time, and Vandana will just confirm once it's done, so then she can declare the thing. In the meantime, we have a couple of guests over here. Like one guest I saw was that unique lady with only one husband. I can't believe it. So may I request that unique Madam Rose Mesley to just share a couple of words more than what you had already shared about their experience today as a club in the Toastmasters Club.
Yeah, good evening, everybody, once again. Are you counting the hours now? No, right? Okay, good. Yeah. So yeah. So anyways, it was a great experience being part of the Toastmasters Club. This has been something I've been hearing about since quite some time, and I have lots of friends, associates who are part of the Toastmasters Club. But you know, surprisingly, Joseph sir was the first one to invite me officially to a meeting, and I was like, I'll take it. So yeah, that's what has brought me here. So thank you so much for inviting me, Joseph sir, and to all of you. This has been a great experience. Nice catching up and meeting all of you. And yeah, looking forward to more meetings.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
And we look forward to attend a couple of meetings. We will make you part of our guest list. So every Friday evening, same time, you're most welcome to attend. And continue with your journey in table topic, of course.
Yeah, sure. My skills and my skills in liaison with your opportunity should be nothing less than amazing. So I think I would do.
Thank you, Rosemary. So now I request the gentleman who came all the way from the land of beaches and land of tax heavens. So may I request my evaluator Krish to share his experience in the IT city where we are having this meeting today.
Thank you for having me, and I was happily surprised because the level here is very good. It's very good. I'm happily surprised. I've been visiting Toastmasters clubs over the last 3-4 weeks. I'm practicing for an evaluation contest as well. And oh, by the way, the beaches at the moment we can't access them because we're in national lockdown. But yeah, it's true. It's a fiscal paradise. One of the elements I loved was the report from the general evaluator. It's after a long time I'm hearing this kind of engaged, adding value and human report. Keep doing what you're doing. That was excellent. I will come back to your meeting if my work allows, because I had to turn my screen off and take on work calls. Having said that, keep doing what you're doing. And I did enjoy your meeting. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. And I have the grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Reno. Are you attending our meeting for the first time?
Yes, sir. I am attending your meeting for the first time.
Yeah, please go ahead with your experience and
yes,
any areas for improvement for us.
I am from Wipro Beats Toastmasters Club. So this is my first experience with the Speech Weavers Club, Toastmasters Club. It was very good, very interesting meeting. Very interesting theme, I would say, team spirit. That is a lot of learnings, and the way the speakers spoke, the engaging table topic sessions, and the feedback and general evaluation, everything was very good. So I really enjoyed it. And a lot of takeaway as well for me in this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Renu. I look forward to attend your meetings. So Toastmaster Vandana, are we ready with the voting link or with the votes? Great. Please announce the results.
Okay, I think everyone is waiting to know who won. So the best supporting role goes to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Deepa. Next, the best auxiliary role player. Oh, it's very tricky. So we have a tie. We have our counter, Toastmaster Akanksha, and we have grammarian Toastmaster John. It was a lot of close competition. The best role taker goes to no competition, general evaluator Toastmaster Lakshmi. The best table topic speaker goes to, okay, that's me, Toastmaster Vandana. Okay, a small clap. So the best speaker goes to Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Milan. And the best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Krishna. Thank you. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Milan.
My dear club members and Toastmasters and guests, I'm inviting you for one more action-packed session this weekend on Sunday. We'll see our presiding officer, our Sergeant of Arm, and today's voting master, Toastmaster Vandana, as well as one more Toastmaster Shubhadeep, who are going to go in our division level contest. So please block your calendar in our guest list as well as in our Toastmasters WhatsApp group. We'll share the invite, attend and encourage them. And you'll see those even for guests, they'll come to know what sort of contest we have, the quality, etc. It will be very inspiring. Even to Madam Rosemary, I would request you, if you can spare a couple of hours, just attend that, because this happens once in a year when we have this contests. So the contest season is going on. It's at the very third level. We are gone from the club level. We are gone to area. Now we are into division. So the winners of the division will go to the district level. So that is something one can thoroughly enjoy it. So just make sure to attend those programs and enjoy. And even for other contestants from other areas and other districts like Krish, and you're most welcome to attend in case your time permits on a Sunday morning. So just make sure, of course, your Mauritius time may be slightly different, maybe afternoon in your case, just make a point. So with this, I declare the meeting as adjourned.
Krishna, can you tell me how you pronounce your name?
Like you just pronounce it. There's only one vowel. I blame my parents for that. It's always a challenge for me to get my name pronounced. Even I struggle with it at the start, but it's Christian. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Lakshmi,
You're welcome.
we really enjoyed your evaluation today.
Thank you so much, Vandana. As much as I enjoyed the session today.
Is there anyone?
All the best
Yeah,
to you, Vandana. I think Deepa is not here, and to Shubhadeep.
Yeah.
I think the division B has to come to speech viewers.
All the
pray
best,
for it.
Vandana.
All the best.
Thank you.
All the very best, Vandana.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosemary. I think she's dropped. Reno, how was it? How did you?
Bye, everyone.
You shared your official this thing. Or is there any roles that are different that we do than your
In your club, you mean?
Yeah. Slightly different format? Anything?
Are you asking me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, here you have